Now I know what you're thinking. Final Fantasy X, how does it continue to get better? Because Final Fantasy X is the full package. And I agree, I bloody love Final Fantasy X, its story, its gameplay, and I would recommend it to anyone wanting to try the Final Fantasy series. But on PC, it has its problems. And in today's video, we're going to look at all of the mods that can enhance that experience. So with that all being said, what is up guys, Jen here, hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to the channel. As always, got your cool timestamps down below, so if there's a certain mod you would like to skip to, feel free. All I ask is you to support the channel and hit that like button, and if you want to stick around for some more Final Fantasy content, then please consider hitting that subscribe button. Now, for those that don't have Final Fantasy X on PC, don't you worry, I have got you covered with our friends at Instant Gaming, because you can get Final Fantasy X/10/2 HD Remaster at an incredible price using my link down below in the description. And if you already have Final Fantasy X, well, there are plenty of other games on Instant Gaming's website. The Final Fantasies are there. There are also some classic RPGs, or if you want to, there's some newer releases like The Last of Us Part 2 and the first Berserker Kazan. And it does not stop there. We are currently having a giveaway with Instant Gaming of all you need to do is enter using the link, and you have the chance to win any game of your choice from Instant Gaming, so please go check that out. Thank you to Instant Gaming and happy shopping. Now let's talk Final Fantasy X and its mods, and there is one vital thing that we need to make this all possible, and that is Untitled Project X. Now, the Final Fantasy X HD Remaster is a good port, but it does have technical issues that will prevent certain things or even crash the game. And there is also things like the audio, the Japanese audio and the English audio being in the game but not being able to be selected. So this will allow you to play the game smoothly, pick any language you want, but there are so many other things here included as well. Not only will it support the mods that we're going to be talking about, it also adds a soft reset, full screen mode, a GPU bypass, performance fixes, cursor management, custom gamepad buttons, button remapping support. You can recover from stuck loading with a click of a button. We can distribute AP to the whole party. You can have the PlayStation trophy sound for an achievement unlock if that floats your boat. And you can have Seymour in your party at any stage of the game. Oh, and of course, one of the best features, skipping the cutscenes. Though it isn't just a press of the button, you can use the fast forward function to 8 times speed to get through the cutscenes, especially when you're on Mount Gazazet going against Seymour. If you know, you know. And last, there is one thing that I've had a little bit of fun with. You've seen it in the preview, and I definitely think it's a cool tool to check out more of the world of Final Fantasy X, and that is the free cam. At the click of the button, you can change the view to be able to play like a third-person game, and of course, you can get some really good shots, you get some really bad shots, but it's something you can mess around with, and you can do some pretty cool things like this. And for those that didn't know, I was harkening back to the Final Fantasy X beta when Tidus had black hair and it looked like you could have full control of the camera. I had a lot of fun messing around with that, so I hope you enjoy it. But Untitled Project X is your gateway to modding Final Fantasy X and making the PC client run a lot more smoother. And yes, your eyes do not deceive you. We are running at 60 frames per second, again, due to lossless scaling because of that frame rendering. It helps out in a lot of games, especially the more classic games like we've seen in the Final Fantasy VIII video, and it does it again here in Final Fantasy X. Now, before we dive into textures, there is one thing that will probably make you not want to go download textures and bloat with gigs and gigs of textures, and that is the ReShade mod. Now, this is a tool that you can use for any PC game, but for Final Fantasy X, you can really enhance it, make it look good, make it look sharper, bring out those textures in the environments, in the characters and their details. You can add a bit more color, you can add some bloom, you can add some nice lighting effects. It's something that's really customizable, but there are presets out there as well, and you can really make Final Fantasy X go from looking very plain to very vibrant and kind of reminding what it felt like when I first played it on the PS2. There are some really cool settings, and it's definitely something you want to mess around with. But the characters, on the other hand, because it's one big thing about Final Fantasy X and X-2, is the faces, especially when it comes to Tidus and Yuna. So there are various texture mods for all of the characters, including Seymour, of where the ones that have their more in detail models, where they don't have the flat PNG face, we can now have them look more akin to their PS2 models, and this looks absolutely glorious when it comes to Tidus and Yuna, because I don't know what happened when making the remaster or what went through the dev's mind to change the faces of Tidus and Yuna, but those faces just did not hit with me, and I know that they didn't hit with a lot of you. So this fixes it. It makes them look like the PS2 models, and then Waka, Lulu, Auron, Rikku and Seymour have mods as well to make their faces look more like their PS2 models while keeping the HD remastered body models. Now you're probably thinking, Jen, what about Kimahri? Kimahri I think looks fine when you've got that ReShade mod on as well. Kimahri looks pretty cool. There is a mod out there where you can restore his horn for those that want a horned Kimahri. Go knock yourself out with that one. But the PS2 retextures for the characters are pretty nice. Not only that, there is a mod to make sure that what I consider to be lifeless emotions during not the most serious cutscenes can be replaced with these high quality models. And as you can see, it does it justice, and it just brings a bit more realism and a bit more consistency while playing through Final Fantasy X. Now that's all when it comes to texture mods. I really don't think you need that many. There's just a few fixes that the HD remaster destroyed that these will fix. And apart from that, there are some nice fun texture mods. You've probably seen it a few times, but there is a certain individual in one of Rin's shops that has a very classic line of, I want to be a Blitzball when I grow up. Well, that dream has been made a reality in this mod, because every single Blitzball in the game has been replaced with this kid's face. So for those that are here for the memes, this is probably a mod for you. I had a lot of fun just capturing footage for it, and it does what it says on the tin. The Blitzball Kid is now a Blitzball. Another fun mod you've probably seen through some of the previews is that Cloud from Final Fantasy VII? Well, yes, it is. There is a mod that replaces Tidus with Cloud, and it also replaces his portrait in the menu. So for those that miss Final Fantasy VII or want to make a bigger connection between Final Fantasy X and Final Fantasy VII, then the Cloud mod might be one for you. It's nice to see Cloud run around in this environment while wielding the Brotherhood and a nice little shield. The only downside to this mod is whenever it's the very high quality models of Tidus, it doesn't replace it. So sometimes, especially during the intro, we can see Cloud leaving the campfire in the ruins of Zanakan. As he goes off to tell us that this is his story, it switches to the Tidus model. So it does break it a little bit, but most of the gameplay you will be traversing the world of Spirit as Cloud. Another nice, very fun mod to mess around with. Next up, we're going to be diving into the menus, specifically the main menu of where we go through equipment and abilities and the Aeons and the sphere grid as well. So first with the menu, you can see that we've got a nice background with the Brotherhood on Besaid Island there. It looks really cool, it really pops. There's various options to change the boxes. I've got a blue setting, but there are other settings that you can also have, and it just brings a little bit more life to the menu of Final Fantasy X, and I find it to be quite fitting. And then the sphere grid, you probably noticed that these textures have been enhanced with higher quality textures, so the sphere grid looks pretty damn awesome. If you're going to be playing Final Fantasy X, you'll be spending a lot of time with the sphere grid, so you want it to look nice, you want the spheres to look nice and sharp and colourful, and this mod does that for you. Now, we're going to move on to some gameplay mods here, but when it comes to all of the other Final Fantasies we talked about, from 7 all the way through to 9, these have really nice gameplay mods that change the game quite a bit. There is a couple here for Final Fantasy X, but I've not dove into them myself, so I'll be reading you a few synopsises while showing off some gameplay clips. First one we're going to be talking about is this sphere grid mod called the Transcendence mod, and essentially what this allows you to do is that it's a new linear experience for the sphere grid and offers a classic job system focusing on strengths and weaknesses. You start off in Luca during this mod for some strange reason. I don't know if it's just because it's easier for the mod to kind of kick in, or if it's just maybe there's a little story tied to it. I don't know. But you start off in Luca, but every character has a job, and you can learn other jobs as well by using teleport spheres. It also adds a layer of difficulty to support these job changes and the sphere grid changes. And some of the jobs that you'll have is the Tamer, which is a job that's been very familiar with animals since childhood. In combat, they only trust their closest friend, a dangerous bird who is able to steal and deal heavy damage thanks to its sharp claws. We have the Monk, which fights with its bare hands, and a fast melee fighter whose attack may stun, which is the sleep status, the enemy. It also has access to non-elemental magic. Another one is the Acolyte, which is born of the blue moon and is the most knowledgeable of party members. It's known for its unique water magic. And there are a few other jobs as well, like the Reaper, which is someone that wields a heavy saw focusing on causing bleeding damage, which is poison, and Cripple, which is slow, or full break on an enemy to hunt it down. So the Reaper sounds like it's really Auron on steroids, really breaking down all of the enemy statistics and making sure they're vulnerable to everything. We also have the Grave Robber, which is a ruthless scavenger making its home in the Cursed Lands. It robs the crypts of the ancient falling using whatever it finds to benefit the party, which also sounds like Rikku on steroids. But there are a few other jobs to mess around with. I guess it adds a layer of difficulty and a bit of unknownness to what you might be familiar with Final Fantasy X, and it's definitely one to have a look at. Now, the person that did this mod has also created a few other mods. There is the Blitzball Spira Tournament mod, which of course changes and focuses on the Blitzball minigame in Final Fantasy X. A lot of balancing has been done in this. It's less frustrating. Your start team has nice abilities, and all known teams have new players in their teams following different strategies. The AI has been improved, and playing the tournament helps you gain new abilities as prizes. So it's a new way to approach Blitzball if you are bored of the vanilla experience of Blitzball, and I guess combined with the Blitzball Kid texture for the Blitzball and a new way of playing Blitzball, I'm sure there are going to be shenanigans for everybody. I truly do think that Final Fantasy X, as it stands on the PS2, is a legendary Final Fantasy with not much that needs changing. Yes, maybe you need a bit more of a challenging mod, or maybe you need a few things changing here and there, but these mods make that PC version feel like you're playing the PlayStation 2 once again. There are many other mods out there for Final Fantasy X, not enough to cover in this video, but I'm hoping that I've highlighted quite a few here for you in today's video for you to check out and maybe retread the grounds of Spira and have a grand adventure with Tidus, Yuna, and all the rest of the Guardians as they take the fight to Sin and bring us an eternal calm. All the mods I've spoken about will be listed down below for you to check out. Don't forget, if you don't own Final Fantasy X, check out Instant Gaming to get it at an incredible price. And if you do have Final Fantasy X, please consider having a look what else they have on offer there, because there is thousands of games there at really good prices. So it's definitely worth a look using my links down below. I appreciate your time, and until next time, I'll catch you on the flip side.